Hey, what's up, guys? Big CP here,
I'm Camilla,
aka,
little CP.
and we are today going to react to a video of Camilla when she won a deadlifting contest against adults at CrossFit Coliseum last year at age 10. The contest was maximal repetitions with body weight. The rule was once the hands come off the bar, it's over. Needless to say, Camilla stepped way up and dominated. She won this contest. As you guys watch, you'll see how many repetitions she ended up doing, but it is more than a few. We're going to talk through it step by step. But first, Camilla, I wasn't too sure if you were going to do this contest, and I had told you we'll just kind of play it by feel. What did you think when I had said that?
I was like, we're probably not going to do it, so I don't need to be that prepared. But there is also this chance that we're going to do it, and I'm going to be less prepared. So I was more on the less prepared side.
Now she says that, and of course that is her point of view. But what I saw was a young lady who was about to demolish a contest. We just had to get her mindset right, build it up. You never want to. Guys, we're doing all of this for fun. You know, it's personal challenge, personal development, and yeah, even we sometimes win some stuff and we win prizes, we even win money. And imagine that. At 10 years old, she beat, it was at least 4 other Rowan women, and they were like powerlifting women. They were strong. Now, let's get it straight. Obviously, deadlift for repetitions is going to be an advantage if you are lighter. The thing is, Camilla isn't actually that light. At 10 years old, she was weighing, oh, it was over, she, was it 80 pounds or maybe it was 88? It was something right in there, but don't get it twisted, guys. That's a really solid 10-year-old we have there. Most of the adults, they were maybe using 120, 130, because that was their body weight. Yeah, she was using her body weight. So we're just going to go through it step by step. Here we go. Just getting ready here. What were you thinking here, Camilla?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I've got to do it. This is going to be hard.
Did you have like a target repetition number in your mind, or what were you thinking here?
I was just thinking I have to do as much as I can and not give up until my hands like start pain. Like have a lot of pain in it.
So you were ready to take this to the end.
Yes.
You gotta do this, guys. If you're gonna do a contest, and I'm not saying it's the smartest, I'm not saying it's the healthiest, but I'm just saying that's the competition mindset. And obviously, everybody has to know when to pull the eject button, get out of there, because you know, and you can take it too far. I have certainly done this many times. That's why I was very cautious and watching Camilla the whole time. But you know, deep down, I knew we were about to dominate. Anyway, let's continue. First ever contest. Get tight, go. 1. Now, what you may notice is I put my heavy-duty powerlifting belt that I've had for like 2 decades on Camilla. The reason is, as it covers up most of the core, all she had to do was expand her stomach against the belt, and that created a ton of intra-abdominal pressure, so she did not have to brace as hard. What did you think about the belt?
I really liked it. It made me feel like a lot better. It made me feel tighter, and for some reason that just made me feel more secure in how I'm gonna. It made me feel like I was gonna win the competition.
Just that's, you know, that belt's good then, right? She felt the belt. I've won many competitions with that belt. It's held together by sticky tape and blood and tears. But the point is, if you're going to do such a high repetition, keeping the core encased like that will allow you to get more repetitions because you're creating this stability to the spine. Anyway. Just did 10 reps. Now, up until this point, guys, I had done deadlifts with Camilla. Camilla's been training since she's a baby. But when I say training since she's a baby, I would say at average, since she was 3 years old, we've done maybe 1 weights workout per year. It's not much. You don't need to do much. Now we're going to start ramping it up. Camilla's actually pretty freaking muscly, as you guys will see in future videos. But up until then, training is supposed to be fun. And We do a whole multitude of things: skating, BJJ, even stuff like fishing. We're trying to get into games like Dungeons and Dragons. We like playing PlayStation. There's a lot of stuff we like to do. So we are not going to just specialize in weight training at age 5 or even now at age 11 non-stop, because weight training complements. Weight training, it's a way of increasing just basically our stability, right? As a physical creature. It helps thicken us out. Anyway, let's continue. At this point, you had done 11 reps, Camilla. How many did you have an idea in your head of what might happen? Now, obviously, don't tell the audience how many you ended up getting, but what were you thinking at this point? Did you have a target in mind, or
No, I just thought how many I can get is as much as I get, and I hope I get a lot.
that's the best way, isn't it? Because don't overthink things, guys. Paralysis by analysis is, I mean, the sort that a lot of us fall on if we're not careful. Especially the people who are a little more intelligent, a little more cerebral. We start thinking things through, and obviously there isn't one way to do anything, so it's easy to get paralysis by analysis. But just going, I realize it's going to be painful, going balls to the wall, so to speak, and just getting what you can get. I think that's a great way. It's not the only way to do it, but it's a great way. Now, you may have noticed, and maybe you were a little confused by about rep 17, I was basically trying to mentally wake her up. Like, step it up, let's go, let's go. Because let's be honest, traditionally, if you do a weight training set and you do about 20 reps, that's a lot of reps. It doesn't kind of matter what weight you're using, 20 reps is a lot of reps, especially when you're picking it up and down. I one time basically challenged myself in the end to do 100 reps with 225 in sub 5 minutes. I did it in 4 minutes and 56 seconds. It's a little faster than one rep every 3 seconds. But I had to really have that number in my mind and just race towards it, while Camilla used the opposite of approach of just, I'm going to go one rep at a time, one rep at a time. And that's exactly what she did, huh? Now, I do have to point out the obvious before you guys said, no, her lockout was a little soft on some of them, but this is a repetition contest, and it's not a low repetition contest. And trust me when I said the other people, actually, her form was pretty solid. Obviously, we'd like to see a little more core stability, but as you're about to see, if you go absolutely ham for 5 minutes straight on a set, form's not going to be absolutely textbook, but as long as you can walk away from that and you've not injured yourself and you've taken yourself to the limit for that set, for that job of what you were trying to achieve, I think it was pretty good. But this is where we start to get an idea of what's about to come. At this point, I was really trying to build the momentum, the energy. It's like a train that starts moving. And that's why I just keep going, come on, because I'm trying to get that momentum. Once that train is moving, you can slam on the brakes. It's not going to stop anytime soon. So that is what I was doing while this was happening, Camilla. What were you thinking? Were you like, shut up, puppy, I'm repping away here? Or thank you, puppy, for encouraging me? Or none of it? Were you just form, pull it in close to the body? What were you thinking?
I didn't think anything. I was just pulling it up.
Bingo. See, that was the trick question. She didn't. I didn't warn her about this, but that's a trick question, because when you are going all out in a set, you are in the void, as Dave Tate calls it. It's a place where, yeah, you can probably hear. She could hear me vaguely. It was probably like I was far, far away because you go into your own world. And she is just beginning to enter this realm of different consciousness. Sounds extreme. Watch as we go further, and I think you'll get an idea of what I mean. Now, notice some people say you've got two more. Make sure you count how many more are about to come. But here, I was just trying to make sure that her rhythm was getting a little bit slower, because you just keep banging those reps out, you're going to develop like a super hideous low back pump, and that'll probably fry you. Here we want to pace ourselves, and we're gamers, meaning we are going to look at the rules and we're going to not bend them, but we're going to use them to our advantage. And the rule was you just don't let go of the bar, and there was no real rule of how long you could wait at the bottom or anything like that. So by giving her an extra couple of seconds between repetitions, it's not a full break, not even close, but it's enough to, would you say, recover a little bit?
Yeah, but actually, we had a time limit at the bottom. We only had 5 seconds that we could stay.
5 seconds, long time on the bottom. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like if you were doing a set and you took that long between it, people would be like, "What are you doing? A restful set, or is this a
Yeah.
different set, or what is this?" Anyway, let's continue. You may have noticed I said get angry with it. What I am trying to do is I am trying to pull any and every last bit of energy out of her, because we have a store of energy. At a contest, we have even more energy. The energy in the room is electric. If you'd have looked around, you'd have seen, I don't know how many people were there, but it was definitely like 100 or so. The place was packed. And they're all zoned in, watching Camilla. That's all they're doing. The energy, the tension in the room, it's amazing. A mixture between, like, I think just people's minds were absolutely blown as we went further, and it sounds like we're blowing our own horn so much here, but as you continue to watch, you'll see why some people see us as a little bit extreme, I suppose, but we're extremely passionate about one thing. And what is that, Camilla?
Trying your best.
Boom. And what happens when you try your best?
You get it. You get it done.
You get it done, you win. And even if you don't win the actual event or contest, you still win because you gave it your best. And that's everything. Again. Come on, go! 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 You can do it! Come on! One more, pull through! All the way again! You can do it, Camilla. This is it. Come on. Now you're in the pain zone. Go into the burn. A little thing that I find interesting is the pain zone. I call the pain zone that point where we no longer truly feel pain as in discomfort, and we are just in this all out effort. It's like when you go in, let's say you're training at 6 a.m. or something, you're tired and you're warming up the first few sets, everything feels heavy and tired, but then you start snapping into it. And before you know it, you got your energy, you're doing the work sets, you're putting in the large amount of effort that you are supposed to put in at that moment. Now, this is a contest. This is what we're doing. This one set. So this is not like a workout set. This is like an athletic event. This is an all or nothing, or not all or nothing, but all and everything effort. What did you now, Camilla? You haven't competed in a BJJ yet, but you have done many, many matches with many boys. You've beaten 14-year-old boys. You've done all this kind of thing. You've done skating. You were with me when I taught you how to jump down sets of 5 and 6 stairs. You one time walked like nearly, what was it, 1.6 miles with how heavy was that weight jacket?
Like 80? I'm not totally sure.
I don't think it's 60, I believe. It
60.
was like her body weight. And she would walk for about 10 foot or so, and I would just stand next to her and just kind of lift her up a little bit so she could kind of breathe underneath the weight jacket and then keep going. And she got it all the way. We've only done that once because I don't consider that regular training. This is more mind training. And then once you've done a challenge like that once, you don't really need to do it again. Now, you could do another variation, but Camilla, out of all the different things that you have done, how hard did this feel?
This felt like extremely hard because I had a competition against adults. No kids were there. And it just felt,
Was that a little intimidating for you?
yeah.
Makes sense, right? 10-year-old girl against women who compete like at high levels in powerlifting.
Hmm. And I just felt like extremely, right now when I was in it, I didn't really think or feel anything. The only thing I felt was my back from how the form was
Mm.
because it wasn't the greatest, but I still got through it.
Hey, look,
But
guys, we have eyes. We realize the form isn't the greatest. That's why I knew that her core would, her posterior was gonna, fail when we do so many repetitions. She had previously deadlifted 135. That's a plate per side for 16 reps. And that was not long after she first learned how to pull one plate. She had this big mental block to pull one single plate. 10 years old, obviously. These are we're talking about. I looked at these lifts. This would have been a, I think, all American record for 10, 9 to 10 years, something like that. Basically, she did very well with the weight that they use in a powerlifting contest, but she did 16 reps in training. So going into this, I knew she had deadlifted 135 for 16, but this is like, I think it was 88 pounds or somewhere in there. It's not that much less, but she got a whole lot more reps. Just you wait till you see this, guys. Come on, come on, you can do it. All the way through, come on, there you go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, go, win, win. 51, go. 51, guys.
I was halfway in here.
Go, pull up, pull up, pull up, break. Up. Good. Again, again. Couple breaks. 1, 2, go. Pull. Brace and pull through. Pull through. Good. You got it, you got it. Get your second win. Get your second win. One at a time. Go. Pull. Pull from there. Pull through. Good. Again. Again. Do it like that. Couple breaks. 1, 2. Now pull through. Tighten. Tighten. Right. There you go. Again. Go into the zone, Camilla. Go into the zone. You're nearly there. You may have heard me again reference the zone. Dave Tate calls it the void, can be a zone. It's whatever you want it to be, but it is that moment in time that, Camilla, how would you explain the zone?
It's kind of a place where you are just focusing on what you're doing and not what's happening around you.
Yeah.
The things that around you are kind of irrelevant of what's going on.
But would you say the zone is like this kind of chill place that you can go all the time? Or is it like somewhere that you can go occasionally, but it takes quite a toll?
It's the second one because it takes a quite like a big toll.
How long were you sore for this after this? Look, face on you. You're like, no surrender. Pain, but no surrender.
3 weeks.
She was sore for 3 weeks after this. And guess how long spinal erectors take to recover? 2 to 3 weeks. The spinal erectors recover slowly. And as you can see, she got a little banana back at some points of the reps. But at the end of the day, look, guys, this isn't training. That's not how you train. This is performance. And in performance, as long as you can do, the performance as is needed in a manner that does not damage you. And yeah, she was ultra sore all over, but she wasn't damaged. That's the thing about it. That's a big deal. Would you say anything more about that now, Camilla? What do you think?
Um, Honestly, no. I think you explained it really well.
All right. Well, thank you. Let's see here. Now, let me ask. Right at that last rep, where is it? They're gonna rewind it. You can see. Who are you looking at?
The dude that was counting. I'm pretty sure. I'm not totally sure though.
Okay. There it is. Now, you may have heard me say, do not let them win. That could, in a way, just sound like I was just talking about the other people that she was competing against. Like and it did in some way. It had to do with them, but it also meant something else. What did that mean to you, Camilla?
It meant don't let the thoughts that like you have to give up, it's hurting too much, like you're doing bad now, your back's going to be in pain forever.
Bingo. That's what people miss. And that's why some people might watch certain interactions like me with my daughter here at training and go, wow, they're super arrogant. Wow, what's he talking about? Don't let them win. It's like, oh, were you shutting them down or what? Well, in a way we are, right? But when I talk about the phrase, I'm not talking about the other people. The competition's in here, guys. It's always in here. It's in here. It's in here. This is the competition. So don't let them win. And the win, those are the weak voices in the head. Those voices that say, hey, you've done amazing, let's stop. Or I don't feel like it today, or this doesn't even make sense, or I'm not good enough, or am I stronger? Any kind of doubt. That's who we refer to as they. And they can leap right off, as we should say. Come on, you can do this. It's all you. This stuff's you now. Yes, all hard. I want to point out one thing. I said it's all up to you now. What did I mean by that, do you think, Camilla?
I think you meant you have to drive forwards and you have to keep going at it.
Basically meant I had given about as much pump up as I could do. It's like you can share, you can input energy into that person, but at this point now we're in a special realm. She's now, I'm telling you right now, she's physically here, but her mind, she is elsewhere. It could be absolutely anywhere. What would you say, Camilla? How did it feel? Where was your mind? Were you very, were you able to be aware of all the people around you, or were you just in your own little world?
I was just in my own little world.
And what was happening in that world?
My muscles were aching. I felt like I was gonna collapse. Um, Honestly, I just felt like icky. That's basically all of it.
Mickey, that makes sense. And were you waiting for it to end, or were you too in it to think about the end? Or were you focused on achieving an end, but then where is that end?
I was focused on achieving it, but also at the same time, I was just like, I have to keep going. I'm not giving up now. Because those women were so strong. And I was the one to go first, so I didn't know what they were going to do. So I had to keep going.
And this is the huge point, guys. This is the massive point. Camilla went first. She had no idea what anyone was capable of. I had no idea what anyone was capable of. In my mind, I knew, I'm like, it has to be over 50. It has to be. It's body weight. The females, they're repping it out. And these were like really, really jacked women. And the lady who came second to Camilla, like, I'm not sure if she counts as a pro powerlifter, but to me, she looks pretty much like a pro powerlifter. Crazy lifter. Everything is calculated. Her training is to the record. Now, and make sure you guys understand, Camilla didn't beat her in a powerlifting contest. Powerlifting is the bench, squat, and deadlift for one repetition. You have 3 attempts. You have the 3 white lights. It's a little different, but this is more than just a powerlifting contest. Do something like this, it goes deeper. It's more of a contest within yourself. It's like, because you could have started after 20 reps. After 20 reps of doing deadlifts, you feel like you can stop perfectly fine there. 20 reps of deadlifts is hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. So she didn't know what anybody else could do. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Second place was 3 reps short of her. And here's the crazy part. I truly believe that Camilla kind of won psychologically, because this lady, I've been lifting a long time, I've coached a lot of people, been to a lot of contests, physically, she could have got 4 reps. She could have. But mentally, I guess for whatever reason, and it's a great thing I said to Camilla, you really truly did win, because you could say the woman goes, I'm not going to compete with a kid, I'm not even going to bother. But the fact that Camilla hit her reps and this lady came after her like a wolf, a rabid wolf. She was attacking. Obviously, we encourage, because we're not against each other, because me being negative to you does not help. It might help. It might hurt your performance, but we want fair competition. We don't want shit like that. But the fact that Camilla went first, she got this repetition number, and then second place, she stopped 3 reps short. It's pretty epic, because all these say, like, everybody who lifted, it was brilliant. And my one client, Big Wayne, everyone knows who that is. He was there putting on a freaking demo, over age 50, raw benching, like 500 pounds, just savage stuff. Anyway, let's continue with this savagery.
Four hearts. Come on. Yes. Kill him, Camilla. All the way through. Come on, you can do this. Let's go, all the way.
You may notice, obviously, I'm very aggressively encouraging, but there are a few other people that were also encouraging. A lot of people, though, were just kind of dumbfounded. They weren't sure what was going on. First of all, they're like, a 10-year-old girl entering deadlift contest, she's not even supposed to be in the gym generally, right? Camilla is allowed, and Camilla is able to do that. But just in general, 10 years old, and it's not a kids contest. So they're like, all right, let the kid go first. Oh, cute, how much are you going to do? Like 20 reps. That's awesome. Yeah, let's clap. Oh, 30 reps. Yeah, clap the 40 reps. Okay. 50. Okay, that's a lot of repetitions now. This is, wolf in sheep's clothing, as they say. It's a killer athlete with a killer attitude in a little cute girl's body. That's what I hear all the time from other dads at jiu-jitsu. They go, oh yeah, Camilla is so great at jiu-jitsu, but she's so cute. Nobody would ever imagine that she would do anything like that. And I'm like, why? It's literally a sport where you use your arm, where you use your body. She's extremely athletic. But what happens is, a few boys get a little bit too big for their own boots. So I'll tell her, or I'll kind of mouth over, basically, like, destroy them, smash them, wreck them, teach them a lesson. Teach them a lesson just means some little boys, 13, 14 years old, will go a little softer on Camilla because they go, oh, she's a girl, which is great if she needed that. Reality is she's actually stronger than them. There was one kid, he was literally on Camilla's back for like a couple of minutes trying to pull her down. Age 13, much bigger than her. Camilla's like a freaking horse. She's just like, come on, you want to get off my back before I slam your ass? But the point is, I have always been very careful with entering Camilla into things, because I'd never want to enter her into a contest where it was just this horrible. Now, obviously, it could be a horrible experience. To a certain degree, we can't ever control that, but I would not want her to have some terrible experience that would be on me. So that's why she hasn't competed in jiu-jitsu yet, but she is going to now. Her instructor, Renard, says she is more than ready, but that's how we want to be. We want to be more than ready, and that doesn't necessarily mean physically, but it means being more than mentally ready here. Because we didn't ever do any rep challenges like that. I think the highest she's ever deadlifted was 16, doing the 135. Only ever deadlifted a hand times in her life, but when you flick it on, turn the switch on, a lot is possible. Let's keep going. I'm getting pumped just watching this. 70 reps, folks. 70 so far.
71?
She was now at 71 repetitions. I knew this was now getting close to the end. I had watched her basically milk her body for everything it was worth. It's like various phases, various gears that we're stepping into, but she was getting there to the end. So now I was like just trying to help her manage a few more repetitions. And at this point, what were you thinking, Camilla? What's going on here?
I was ready to start taking it like trying my hardest as much as I could until like I would literally give up.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she did.
Come on, brace. You can do it. Brace through, Camilla. This is it. Come on, Camilla. Brace. Get tight. Pull through. Pull through. That was better, Camilla. Get everything tight. Get everything tight. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull through. Show them the strength. There it is. That's it. Yeah. Relax slowly on the way down. Don't waste energy. Pull through quick. Pull through quick. Up. Drop. Drop. Down. Drop it. Good. Rebrace.
At this point, I was trying to get her to conserve as much energy as possible. She wasn't allowed to let go of the bar, but there was no controlled descent that she needed to do. So by holding the bar and dropping it, she was saving herself the negative. And obviously, the negative is the most damaging part of the repetition. So the less we needed of that, uh, the better, so to speak. What did you think, Camille, when I gave you this cue?
I honestly didn't really hear you at this part at all.
But you may notice that she still did do it. So her conscious brain didn't hear me because she was like off in another world. But somewhere deep down, she could hear those words resonate, and that's exactly what she did.
1, 2, breath, go. 1, 2, pull through. 3, drop it down, drop it. Take 2 breaths. 1, 2, pull through. Go, there you go. Drop it. 1, 2, 3, pull. Nearly there. Drop it. You're nearly there. Just up on where you. 1, 2. 1 big breath. 1, and brace, and pull through. Yes. You're nearly there.
Oh, and that's where she let go of the bar. And they were like, "Oh, thank gosh, this lunacy of intensity can finally stop."
Yep.
So, what do you guys think? Please comment underneath in the comment. Now, let's get this right. We would never do this in training. She was sore for 3 weeks. This was her pushing her body. Since then, that was a year ago. We haven't done another deadlift contest. We've never even don't even know how many deadlifts we've done since then. Not a whole ton because we do something for a little while, then we just keep adapting because we want to keep it fun. We want to keep it challenging. But I really feel like this is a great example, folks, of taking a set to the end, taking your effort and just really digging into a point that you haven't thought perhaps even possible because you're not even thinking at that point anymore. You are just doing. What would you say, Camilla? What would you like if somebody had to come, if somebody was going to try and do this? What advice would you give them? And that can be any advice in the world. Like, what would you say?
Don't let the voices in your head. Don't let your consciousness like try and take you out of it. If you're like, oh my gosh, I've already done so well. It's okay. You can just stop right now. Don't let it take control. Just keep going. Try your hardest.
And that's the difference nowadays. And every generation says nowadays, but just in general, there is less people who are willing to take things to the end. Now, I've taking things to the end like that is dangerous. If it's not controlled like this, she would have kept going until probably it just collapsed. I have gone before until you collapsed. That's why it was a smart, her hands came off the bar. We were done at that point. 78 repetitions. Lady who came after her did 75. Imagine pulling 75 repetitions, being 3 reps short of drawing, 4 off winning, and just stopping, being done. Mental defeat. Now, obviously, I'm not in that person's head, so I can't really say that, but just from my point of view as a coach, in most cases, that would be mental defeat. Now, there might have been another reason for this lady, but I was so proud of Camilla because usually I was always the guy. I'd win that. I've never lost a deadlift contest. I love doing that stuff, but last couple of years I wasn't in shape to doing this kind of thing. So it's like Camilla came, protected my honor as such. The Parkin honor won the deadlift contest because Parkins win deadlift contests and other contests. We just like to enter deadlift contests because we're good at them. So, what would be your parting words, Camilla? What do you think about all of this? Would you do it again?
Honestly, I would. I actually found it after I was done. I was like, I feel so accomplished. That was amazing.
Did you feel like a rush?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So what I'm telling you folks is that rush we're talking about, if you don't get that when you train, missing out. You're really missing out. It only takes one set or so per workout where you are just digging in deep. It doesn't have to be like this. You can do like a set like this where you then use the limiting factor perfect form. So as soon as the form breaks, that's when you stop. But guess what? That's still going to take you to the same point. It's deep meditation. It's like going into ice cold water. It's like walking on hot coals. It's like anything where you have to endure pain while still putting effort in. It's one thing just laying there and, getting hurt, just taking it like, it's another thing feeling that pain, ripping your own body apart, fiber by fiber, and going head first into it with no fear. Because what's the worst? It's not like you're going to die. Great video. Did you enjoy doing this video?
Yes,
I think we'll do some more of these.
This was really fun. I like looking over it because I've never actually watched the entire video back.
Yeah, I put this up onto Instagram as a reel one time, but I had to fast forward it because 5-minute video. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, comment down below. Please let us know what video you'd like us to talk about, and we'll do it. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed and rung the bell, I realize it's a pain in the to do that, but it takes you a couple of seconds. It really does help both of us. This is what we're doing. This is what we're trying to achieve here. So, I mean, if you wouldn't mind, as long as you don't absolutely detest our information, if you've made it this far, please just follow on. We would really appreciate that. Anyway, give them a little flex. Flex on them. Boom. Out we go. Peace.